no ache kakra enam so ama majority leader edia to dwa kirem say MMDC is now womudin amantem no eno kan ho bi ana delay
na imrashe bokomnyo ogino matimfo wo aya bantema abatu ne position no to oniminyamfo Francis Asensu Buachi no leka say de insuri ya yeru ho man Ghana ya di bia enya biaye nkro bia ni mo man Ghana nyina tintibre tru do de yetu ana man
Emera sebedwamu achiame hene right honorable Abankins for the Somana Bagben ede atodu akire mu se parliamentary immunity ayede ema mena sebedwafo no enye se wo betimi agina so de ayade wo pe ensam no edoso pinu aka we hu na nwumre yi ya jebere sebere anuanu mienu ya de nsam no e ba besom se kase bo na okoto sese bi aboa kraman wo siapata so a empeni so wadasani anade ni si honti kan ye ho na yemfa seda ema bosheba electric house me pacha wo penkane a ene kire se ehom pempena accessories nko ade a enhwakom ema wutiri empo efiri se empeni se ye pakosua tuntum ana akopa tatuo di apobiri mfa ne hunsoma bosheba electric house eba chandelier corner light gate light ceiling light LED light and ye 136,918 and 24 watt ya eye bosheba electric house wo fe open floodlight and ase CCTV cables and the cameras ne nyina bi ewo ho standing fans orient ceiling fan ahodo air condition the USB ewomu me pacha wo ba edumu a bosheba electric house kumase atran no ye miensa edum PZ woni KGT market no ana ye opposite ana edum Bosheba Brosatinti mu baby a Promise FM, Promise TV, or Yerepa FM, or Yerepa TV, ebutu ya prisons runabout on sabeti makabi ewa ha. Edum pizza te hwanso ante atako fo abrosano monso ebuso sa akoma dani ntosi on sabeti makado so puonu a. Wo pe ba ku mienu miensa abowudem. Sa wo pe dodo nso ato aton a ekwanso eda ho. Wo betimi afre 0322 030838 and 0536 095 966. Yabanum ahabedro papa di empenfo agi atomu gaftram e de stamp wesi so FDA enso agi atomu a na heba no gisa wo ba Promise heba me pacho wo Promise FM yada tintin yemu ewo edum prisons runabout me pacho enupa we nyina no eye habenro empenfo agi atomu me pacho wo betima yiba ku mienu miensa kura na mmom no opedodo nso a wo be frɛ 05355446 81
3P Gallon Misha me comfort samo immune booster fe high blood pressure new disease e bu nsa oya ozechi wo shiga level no wa akwoso da bia na wo na makwa baby why otitiriti da bia ra wo za nanse chi omsrawara anenso nko police training bia na wetuma abachira kasembrodo stroke olonyu olobom pempen wo wi ni mu a asma fu yina wo nkonum bi obo ma oye uyefun nu mu de ho ma oye papa wona water sonchu sanchembrodo afe stress na ohaw bebre 3P garlic mixture beju akagiremu a rebo mbodzenare buwro pharmacy na heba shop biara mu no wonsa ebeka bi wo ho etufu boko oye Dani heba Colinac heba Misty heba Chrisky heba Angel heba Kingswalk heba enafe no heba shop no pharmacy shop biara etufu mfre 0248928824 jamanjuma kui ena weso na asen mende nyumbre no nsia kase boye bo abosomo ewo Promise Radio 102.7 afa Promise TV to na ye ame uncle ebo baini ena
Gan stakati ya mitenkura Okogyeabour Okran afensam no emunkyere mu ne
mayafa sem no munkyere mu da yebo mohwe ne akokaso ne mpotem na ohye ewutu senya east oya kropon na se won finfirmantem kra ya tente kropon no etu oya tax force food this wa won bombodina etu oya egodifo a wotena kar kwan ho ena kar kwan woto na ate na potokasem de ofa ndi congestion exercise no oya za wotu wana mona no assembly oya dwumayefo ena afa National Disaster Management Members mechira nadmu ena oya abangmofo bia wakan no wotu de manam no wo wuram wo mpotam wano ena wo chema egodifo na when wo boy nyi papa me yerka sei nyimpa num we pra onya asem gakra ba hina manti boy na nanse wa homa no to na nanse bo mo adwo
akwa bo me de so
nana I Promise FM Promise TV nana boy nchirema obanedan wenyi wona aso chiranse wo kwa ena wanti wo ho aso wo ho na boy nyi manyimpa num we prepre
Akabo medasi memchia aye ashafune escape for worship promise no see promise in ampo pemu our aye kaswa awutu se there be sir asam nankabo last week now assembly no edisa jumedi at the share don say nationwide ada just open cry ni ada mountain mo guso mo aye nti kaswa so with mo hanu mo akabo assembly no worship next ma the funo we see what you said well remember basa our church kaswa na atafamana kum and say I said that the video done other for the investigation about it in the bear talk about canopy our traffic lights are ethical so what canopy is shot how campo ever who the traffic is one more no and a year MC who for ya boni din arrested banemi so no eba na ochemite that and yambra some na a year at the tonfo would be a year castle no ni end ho and then to know what say one more what to ade a year pavement and a kind of yabuso ya tad would the yabuso come for capital before what they abomon abuna campaign baby answer operational church to assess and then to not move director I don't know what hand more any African sport in uniform more assembly no any security for into find na do to me said obe share a year before impenifor no na church that to na nim na wadin ka ko mo no confirm and then na bibi na say 1 year now I will too what did you man no match that on job ba wa so won the day called the Medina Asia year the before for na now so yeah bia want to me and two and a more answer for no the last week assembly no this argument ko lose and then na because we see I win ba o ba aye akra side no no much me am successful and no more share kwa say bia no na in the so what do we check more other side now so we had been say akwa mu acheck in the other side that get work ya or no more kwa say bia and then what other side not who think I will be in the battle no so I want to ba anka bo ni ko ka da bi alpha say da bi alpha to follow up the way now what the abot so that so but test our final so anam homa kete ka campo into the campo ho as section oh do ko bi kwano kwan egu ma kete o just no wadi ka won mo ora na o ma what on a phone go from a Ghana phone na dia phone and kete ni dia phone to go for kete wa pa so wa na papa bole o ma what on phone o swapping in other kete so di dia o won mo on we che mi say one ma kwan assembly no into 2 times na wa ye o won and then no what the assembly ni ebu ani a mo task force the crowd what to a board boy I task force for na so na me the task force for interview o mo pepra ano all gen na so mo share the phone be so epra o mo de ne de answer no ye de side the task force no mo payment na do mo e wa ye kasa para tini komo eje share o one mo I say I did before so o mo so achi ni interview mu o na ko to phone aka che so o mo to ade ntel what to a boy what the ebo ye task force na me so ma sa o ye ni in the ethics and that we work as well and that they na ye pejago I say I that time move that I task force incident no boy no one more na me so na nimpa enum we paper no de ko pemu ye ka so for the task force come in standard o do one wa ja re one of the four interaction pemu no emotion
anti kaswa kinkwan ma ye no ase na wa manjepo zechir mo be sechir biaran of your channel kwani yababa na aboyemu nkyerem okay nti na manjebonyi na ansa ena tene kan na dey mosi wokaswa ena nimpotemenye
yento anwumre no nsia kasebo no eso e wo Promise FM 102.7 ene Promise TV eso a wokọ yen social media handles no eso a eye Promise Radio wo sabetimi akayan yeto akasebo no so na ye free emfimfie mantamu na yaba asante mantamu a ye ba manso jeduakon eno ewo amanse south mensi mo for bekaya ye pram to breka se boso ana ye de esommo ese papa bia ne din ede Akwasi George ya bono so bo se wakum papa bia ne din ede Ibrahim ewo manso jeduakon na eno na sam ne ba ye no ye kasa yi aposifo ekura ne paachi a wo ye ehwehwemu ede nanso no emabu na wonom ewo manso jeduakon ekiremu se wantimi ntena se ema se bidua du mfrani mesi kotia na wamaje bode betem enam so amene ena awia yi wo mudi mirika akofa eja eni crazy petro akoto abranti anedin ede Akwasi George wono ankasa ne fie wo mo ahye ne dworo be efiri se kwan a wo mo susu se wo fa so ekum papa anedin ede Ibrahim awanya mfinhia aduonom no ehi eno ntini pa bone ni de eni kwan so wotena se na wonya baabi eda ma yankwa homa so na ye ne owura Akwadwo antwibo osiako wo yensam troni a wodi ne dwuma ewo eye manso data no ene important Kwadwo sawoti menka majo eba Promise FM 102.7 any Promise TV so. Yada asesa wagye yeso awia yi amane bo ayete ye efri eye manso jeduakono na enye de na de yesa titie no kire se mebuna wono mo kurom ho kire se abrantia akwasi George no omususu se awudi se mu awade ani nti eni kwan se woda ema nani kum ni fie ye twaja atum se ne sitie
ayo mini ameda se mame fa ko yen so ntia Promise FM ne Promise TV nyina enra ema jobe nonso ene fa emu ho na enya ne ntie fe uduru manso didiako ewo manso dubiaba to mpesi asiasi ya abrantie ba ko efra na kwasi George na hotedin edi kucheche enra mentimu asibisi opani ba ko a ono so edi Ibrahim Rare wone ne nua bema ba ko efe ne suri ene ne ba Mary entem ewo manso didiako na abra mentimu asibisi ye no ena Mary no ekobo akwasi kucheche no amane ese omra no mahedi okapakeswa ede eye no ena oba ye no so abrantie no enya abotre da na wa banyina nua wa boa no ho a oba dada nti brantie a na ekuta no no ena oma so ne ye papa ne tirim sa wo hwemfoni ni bia sa de papa no etirim apai mi no no amunum ho a ena papa no eto a nananom wonse adu a enra da no na enye asamda manso ene ne fatam eje bia kokro bia no omo eteye na eba ne sa no na wono mdi ka kopie hono eyema intina maade omu nso entimi enya hwe ti emema duro na kyerese eye akwasi George aye friend kucheche no wadwane na enumu na manso adubia posi bambo no so wanfo mugu mu a enra na juno a be no ndunu mu ano omo ensa etimi kan no a enei ese ukopiem ewo manso jebiako a brante no dan a watimi abomodin esi kan sesen kakra dan kra be se 9 die emrante okrodie no mu no ajurida nyina agu edija atum ese bonefusama brante kucheche aye no ehu ehia se wona no etna eye manso jebiako ekrodie no mu
enti de yakekeke ni nyina no mame Musa manso krom ho no asomdwe wo ho anasa asomdwe ni ho
this am no kasa de manso jebiako na kan se asomdwe wo ho na da bia aye dimuase ye papa na wonya no ba bi ko no papa Ibrahim Rare a wonya no ba bi ko le fia watimo no esan so ni nua suri ema ne ba Mary na 20 no so de mrantu wa na ni abre no enti papa resuri ana ne ba Mary system no ka say dem post one atna ya ewo mansu for three check ho ana one etime babo ho akwa me no ka say omo so abo nsam na chi ede maame Mary no ene papa suri no enso akoma so bibia police headquarters a one enso etime ensam mu enhwehwemu
entry ma yanase koso ade akire ma yan na de besi akire bia nso ema yaso ensi ewo ho yeda se ni amane boyi
na yebuda yewo oye manso amanse south kro sinumu na ono na nkra obare chem da osofanyina na ye kofare bai Great Foundation Chapel wo manso koniase Pastor Bonsu Newton we ko odi atwere nanom wonse di ni inara mu no kwadwa ntwibo esa kom Queen's FM omomodina mboye na mande kwadwo boyensu no mu nkyerem fa mahen obale den na Pastor Bonsu Newton wo yaya yi wote dami alo bonsu ako oya Pastor Bonsu Newton ni wi abobo yankwanhye ne yapamu nkyerem
mini enura ni nedie meka nte ma studie awrabutoma aso ma tono kra ekwen didia kona ya so enna no pay no du betepe enna ofu ba ko dinjuma ewo ma suko na se onda Great Foundation Chapel ano aye plan Pastor Bonsu and aduma we nyina ka bro aduma ne prophet idi machine ya abayo mi chablo ti enu bi ho aduma no ye na wakwa di contract ewo ma ku jebiako program mu a wakwa supplement eti ma ku nrase ede ba jebiako na bra odru edumbato number 1 na o sani aku jebiako no a na bobo ya no eto no so o femi break so ye dey enye no wo no platform ya na se wato na namu anse bi ene be kini ehu ye eti kote eto no na ekwa no Gata ka tie die da ko ya ekoto mu ka na ono so dan top from ene adofo du ono not meant ni abobo ya nyina ekupa kai ku a na emu apetem pa ti some no ka kai pasta no wato na namu en so e fa fa bu no ti wato na namu ka do a we ku bamboro e pa ye no on FFA one aduma mu ye nu no awato mu de emu no ko Marco Ablutin St. Martin Hospital na Dr. For and so a moon no concern Sampa. What one number said one son of first no one to me at Mama to spend. Pastor don't noting I didn't my our great foundation couple our market to Niatan of one before after another there.
I ask some more. Kopebi Biabedi. Yay. Koyemo sakoye da se na wa man the ball ai. Okunsem ni bi aya na. Pa e mo rem.
And sem bi say ba ya na e hadwen
Pa.
Na emom se emna no da ho. Na wa amfa mna na anya dwuma aya na memfa nse utirim se wo ye obia wa na wo ye ho.
Dachi.
Sofo nya memfa na kransie yi. Na emom eye wo hye Ghana ha se wutwi moto a eye wo hye se
wo hye helmet.
Wo hye helmet eye compulsory
wo hye helmet a.
Ebia nka wo hu. Wo kan regulation 84 no a wo se compulsory wearing of protective clothing in respect of motorcycle regulation 84 of the LI 2180. Enti yana mitimu se mrante ni twi moto na helmet nka ho a na omo ye mmobo. Na so nya hwe ye nto aso nyanku ya ni nyame fa ne kransie yi.
Bibia be ye fine.
Ai se de ja ye pe ye ho ani.
Oh bibia be ye fine.
Bibia be. Ebusu me nto akase gba no so na yenkọ wa my Ghana Supreme Court yenkọ to batan ene court no etena se. Na asam kese a na da wo manim nya asam getwa ene se suspended Chief Justice Justice Gertrude Arabasa Kitokono ana wetinti mu enkrata petition ediko Supreme Court wa we no ye beka ne se interlocutory injunction application ana nka wo kwa akope ni nyina no ene se Justice Paulman Committee a wo mo ehwe se petition ahodo a aba a ye ehwe se papa yi anase mami ye beyi nade so anase ye ntu nade so no na ehun behia se committee no etena se na no na beto dwa se Justice Paulman Committee no ase wo mdwumadi a wo mo edie no enukura bi nhyeda enim enu ntianam so ema ye mame Gertrude Arabasa Kitokunu etintim enkrata ene na lawyer for the Supreme Court say anka wakwa kope injunction ede atoso se de be ya committee no wontimi anya na dwuma na no na wobra wotena se ene no atemuafo makomako enum ana etena so na yebeka ne say unanimous decision wo munyina eko benkro abosa application no ato atwene baby na wobra ene court no tena se a wodi asem no wo mu kire mu se wosha application aye mame Gertrude Arabasa Kitokunu edi aba no a se biaburu se bianyado emu hatu se Roma for handkerchief na kire se any merit anu nti ana wo mboto twene ye na ye hwene mu se nyame ya adomu a dwun busu na ye besimu na da toso edu emienu no ana ye de atemu no ebeba na ajajefuo nu mu a wotena se no de wodi wo manim acting Chief Justice Paul Abafo Boni wono anetena so a wohweye ema sa atemu we nyina no eba ye wo mo so aka ho bie sa atemuafo no Justice Omoro Amadu Tanko na watimu ebi ana Yoni Kolendi etim ana Justice Henry Kofi etimu bi ana Richard Ejefrompong na wono so etimu ebi na ene wobra court no etena se no se mo beka yi na watwi mo nso ana ye mame Arabata Kunu wode beto dwa se wadi nkan ade affidavit in opposition akọ court wadada na hu behia se wade supplementary eko na no nso no court no abo ato agu na wobra sa decision ni beto dwa ema Supreme Court de verdict ne ba ye no ana meranim ni a wogina mu ade ama Gertrude Arabasa Kitokunu kane Attorney General Godfred Yeboadame wo kirem se atemu no aba no enya ne nwanwa efiri se wonim se de besia na esie no
not surprising because the theme of what witnessing, but yeah, I mean, we move on. There's a lot of battles and fights. The process is flawed, no doubt. I mean, change is not leading to all kinds of issues. And I'm quite surprised at the Supreme Court. So, more or less, acceding to the perpetration of such violations against the highest judicial official. It's not about just talking, as I keep saying, it's not about just talking at all. The issues are far-reaching and they actually hinge on factors which affect the independence of Ghana's judiciary, the security of tenure of charges and all. But the Supreme Court, for whatever reasons, does not seem to take that view. Well, so great. I think that in future, the whole nation will get to know the consequences of this. Not here to disclose to you my line of action or plans. But clearly, what we can say is that this is a procedure that is really difficult. There cannot be a situation where the Chief Justice cannot face an inquiry set up and that to prevent forces in the position to determine some inquiries against some petitions against and she's not had notice of the specific charges in respect of which the Crown Fashion case has been made, the basis for such charges, and this is why she's supposed to go through the inquiry. I mean, this is a basic right that is available to every citizen.
Any ayati ye meranimuni awojina mu edema suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Arabasaki Tokono ne din ade Godfred Ebo Adame ana wo kirem sa temu no a efri Supreme Court aba no enye ne nwanwa kura
na wonna wo mbrahye begom na adenta oye mbrahye begom nyonyafo Muhammad Adamu Ramadan order to God there in the day wona batu ni position ten insuiri a osu won krampopuni mantem no oya na batu ni position do no wenja hono kura meche adentan oye abatu ni position do no kasa no hwemra se begom de odo bo modinara no wotwa no mombi nya jefa oye insuiri hu no nakiri no ena bantuma mbrahye begom nyi mechira onyamfo Francis Asensu Boache oli chemete na say isuri a oyi wo man Ghana mu na onyi da ye na adwen no ye mmia bi wo man Ghana nkotin na nsuri ba na mmom no oye Ghana fa na anya ba bia nti se ye de bomodi ne yetuwa na mo na ode ye mamra ode oye nsuri hu ne jema ye de bo ho ba no ye di adwuma afe ye momodi na ye refi ase na ya kwache nsuri a ye mfra so wo mpotem no oboboa ama ye tum na ye tu ase nsuri ne te oyo man muni nyina yentum nyi impotem ba ko mfansi wote ehongote ne yerekun.
Mr. Speaker, the issue of flooding as was experienced in Adenta constituency resonates beyond constituency boundaries. Indeed, it is a national issue. As a boy who grew up in an urban community of Bantima, Kumasi, and also an MP from an urban community, I am acutely aware of the challenges of flooding and its economic impact. The Speaker, the economic cost of flooding in our country is so huge to the extent that it undermines our development efforts as a country. As a former Minister for Western Housing, I am very much aware of various interventions that governments over the years have made towards the fight against flooding. In fact, during the period of President Akufo-Addo, investment in flood control measures alone was about 600 million Ghana cedis, flood control. And that was unprecedented. No other government had made such investment into flood control, apart from the regular drainage infrastructure. But regardless of the investment we make in the drainage infrastructure,
Onyamfo asese buache na no tori no de tori no le chemete ebre nya edu de ye akunye de tia oye insuri no de timemfo yinara ye totu yere hu de ye yina ye wo yafam jo wo de ye se yetimpotem na obiri besi danje sunsu kama baby ansuta ofa ode ye so tia na wonu so a waye wona adwene de baby ansuta ofa na esutine mo eho no wo to bolo no nro na adu wo de egu no ode ye so tia ye pa na ye yina ye wonda mpotem ayete no ayaza ye botum ye yina ye yafam de na ye za abo aban another
issue is also the haphazard disposal of waste. Everybody knows that when you put waste into our drainage channels, it blocks the way to the extent that when it rains and the water cannot find any other place to pass, it will just overflow into the communities and it creates flooding. But yet, people continue to dump waste into our drainage channels. We continue to blame government. We continue to blame the district assemblies. The Speaker, what are we also doing as citizens? I'm urging a community action against this issue of flooding. Because once the community come together and prevent people from building on waterways and prevent people from dumping solid waste into our drainage channels, we will go a long way in addressing this flooding issue.
Enti bantama asensu boache ninze enayeti.
Yɛtoa KaseƐ no so a na yɛda so agyina mu ɛwɔ Ghana yɛmmera hyɛ badwam na ɛdɔm kɛseɛ no ba no dani wɔno ana wɔyɛ mmera hyɛ badwani ɛwɔ ɛyɛ Bɔko Central yɛwura Mahama Ayarga wakasa akyerɛ mu sɛ deɛ nti a ɛyɛ District Assembly Common Fund akyɛ na assemblies no wɔn nsa KaseƐ sika no ne nyina no ɛne sɛ na assemblies no MMDCs no a na wɔn di nyamaayɛ no ɛno ka ho bi ana na sika no delay nanso sɛsi ano a yɛbɛka ne sɛ dodoɔ no a no wɔn din aba no wɔhyɛ wɔn mu nkura ne sɛ sika na wɔn pɛ de ayɛ adwuma ɛyɛ District Assembly Common Fund no ɛnkyɛ bia ɛbɛba wɔde sansɛm wɔ nyina to dwa wabra na nipa bi esu frɛ sɛ adenti an assemblies no bɛsa busum nsia nie sika sɛ sɛ de ma wɔn yɛ adwuma no ɛmaayɛ na na mmara hyɛ badwam ana wɔkyerɛm sɛ kɔnfoɔ kwa da anwom wɔse kyaate mu nya din sika no ɛnam kwan so a ɛba Mahama Ayarga.
And the MCEs and the DCEs and the mayors in place, then he will release the funds to them. Now that a majority of the MCEs and the DCEs are in place, I can actually show you a cabinet approval of the distribution of the funds as approved by, Parliament. And also, we took a decision that whilst we are sending the funds to the assemblies, we need to guide the utilization of the funds, because the president has had to fight at the central level to restrain everybody from touching the money at the central level. In the past, hardly anything used to move from the center to the districts. But we took a policy decision that not less than 80% of the money must hit the accounts of the district assemblies, the metropolitan assemblies, and the municipal assemblies.
Na eno ache no yewra Mahama Ayarga edeta to akire mu se wo hwe ekwan a nipa bi de petition aba na Chief Justice suspended Gertrude Arabasa Kitokunu ye na free hono a ebi mo kire se ase yewra Mahama ene committee no etieti Ghana mara so ana yewra Mahama Ayarga ekirem se nya no kura da efri se wo kan constitution no a article 146 no a ene article 144 no se de e ka no sa pepepe ana committee na di so a eno nti no obi antietia obi amara so.
We should be mindful the extent to which we go interfering in the work of other branches of government. I am a lawyer by training. I pay attention to the process. So far, I have not heard anybody specifically say that this part of the process is not provided for in the Constitution. I have not seen anyone. I have listened to all the discussions. Not one single, indication that this step in the process. People are throwing innuendos. People are speculating. Oh, why is it that these lawyers who are known to be lawyers who have ever represented XYZ are the ones who are also representing the people that somebody decides to choose as lawyers? It's not my business. Are you getting the situation?
Eni ayeti yeyi eye manase bedwa mu dom kese no ba no dani yewura Mahama Ayarga ane kasa yeyi
na nachi no dom dodo a wo mba sebegom wori cheme de onyamfo mechiro so afo a na ohwe Ghana na manhuru nkita wodisro mechira Minister of Foreign Affairs Samuel Okogyeabour Okran water nachi zinzin nanse no boto gwade Ghana atene kase a awo US abrochimemu Portugal so specifically Washington DC mechira Ghana embassy or the credo de tum kunkron do ya so afo or the safonu nubotum no ena edom dudu awo mrashe bagwamu no Portugal se wase kokos wonu gomchirani wonam no do afedokova na pod worker sade anamuntu na asoafo no tui no ya ada oyanamuntu baba pa osanete ewe Ghana tene kasa owo ye Washington DC oya US abrochimem na kata asese pro ye kankan dwirim na okodo ho nisa sunti na obehia te osoafo otudama na manen.
First of the Foreign Affairs Committee, the majority side of the Foreign Affairs Committee, we have observed with keen interest activities of the Minister for Foreign Affairs and the Ministry concerning the closure. The reasons for which the closure became possible or realistic is known to all of us. The Minister has followed information from the embassy concerning fraudulent activities, corrupt practices, and he made that decision to close the embassy to ensure that we reset activities at the embassy and to open it with the agenda to serving the public to the highest professional levels. Given the days that the embassy has been closed, the minister has ensured that all is set.
Oyinafo Alfred Oko Van Napoy, majority caucus chairman, Nenze Ena Yeti.
Yetwa KaseƐ no so a na ye kai wo say nwumre no nsia KaseƐ ana ye kura no yetwa petie di fra santemantam mo bafotene ba ko atifie poye atoye ne anafo wo bi adi ayawo ene anwumre yi eye promise 102.7 ene promise TV eso na ye boye moto mu a Chairman wontumi wase news no it is agglomerating and conglomerating na ensam no ebi mu odu sa chairman wontumi chei yenko yanim yeda so agina mu wa Ghana ye mena hye badwafie na achiamehene right honorable Aban Kingsford so mana bagbene e de atodwa akire mu ese aboa kwakuo ka kire doctor say won fa ne nsie na emomu anka say won fa ne kura ane eso pani won kire mu enesen wo kire mu a se wo babaye emena hye badwani a ye wakwan ya oman ne mra ebo wo ho ban de ka ne say parliamentary immunity eno nti na say obi eye mra hye badwani a police ntime nche ne basa wo se eno nso nkire say wo ye mra hye badwani a parliamentary immunity nti no ukodi se bi mfa ni mu asem a na wakwadwane ahinta parliament na ase wo man no na wugu nani mu ase wo kirem say wo ka ne plane enye plane fa na sebio senka enkwase abuo e wakomu a ene ye hyase efra no chepe so wo kirem se wono wadi mra hye badwa se mra hye badwani akonwa e wona doli kalio wo transo be se mfinhia aduo no nan wo kirem a parliamentary immunity no wo amuso wo amfa ntwetwe form wo anyusu ne basa eno ntire wo ka de a kirem na hye badwafo na ba ne se saa kwan bi no a ato wo mutirimu a ye mra hye badwafo nti de ye pa ne ye adenti a ye wo parliamentary immunity no wo kirem se munya ne ne ya ante saa de a taza bre no so a mo bete.
Honorable members, permit me to address a matter that has weighed heavily in recent months. There has been a noticeable increase in the number of official communications from law enforcement and investigative bodies directed at this house. These requests, many of which relate to the conduct of members, must be treated with the seriousness they deserve. Some of these matters relate to allegations arising before those accused became members of this house. Others, regrettably, concern conduct alleged to have taken place while members are in the house. Either way, they raise questions that touch directly on the standing of this institution and the public perception of our collective integrity.
Any ayati ye eye wa my Ghana emra hye badwamu achiamehene right honorable Aban Kingsford so mana bagben a ebre bi atwamu na wono nso eye mra hye badwani ema wo manfo ne adehia wonom ewo nadoli kalio ewo upper west ana wo kirem se adwuma no amoye no maye bi atwam enu ntimunya de mo kire no
Edom kuma wo mbrahye begom na wonam abanojifo hono do woreka sei na oye edom kuma no wole chemete oman Ghana worutu oye abanuta na moni bia orototo oye atembu adwuma eku no wono fa hoji asiye papa wole chetiado odedamensemi nyina tugwa ene dada wo mbrahye begom na mame Patricia Pieje Romo Mashebogoma edom kuman won chihwep na oginami no no chebe da eni saman kunu obae no bibiara ni ho a waya wode bo man Ghana man Mohia Ghana manu nyina ne mu bi hu a wetu man na wobaboa na odekokobo dzima oye abankasim de anamona awolutu na wode etiatia oye atemmoku adwuban wono fa hodzidu no womo modena na wonhwe de wobasakra wo ho na olchem de indei eho omampanyina no montu a olutu no je yi otemmuafo panyin di na firi ho na oya asefim yie pa na olchem da inchirema a wode ba nyina no ne mu na ho fan na olchem de jama na montu no omampanyina tu ne yada oya na montu a wode tu oya atemmuadwuma ekonu de tu yie pa wo man Ghana.
Speaker, the audacious attempt by the presidency to undermine judicial independence have reached dangerous proportions. The nation watched in disbelief as the executive launched brazen efforts to remove the Chief Justice of the Republic, an assault not merely on one officer holder, but on the very sanctity of the judicial branch. At the same time, the president is seeking to pack the Supreme Court with loyalists, 7 nominations in one swoop, clearly designed to bind the hands of the Judicial Council and tilt the highest court in the land towards executive interest. It is profoundly disquieting that the lawyers spearheading the campaign against the Chief Justice are individuals publicly known to have represented or are still representing both the President and the Speaker of Parliament in active legal matters. And when such lawyers become the face and the voice of petition to remove the Chief Justice, it becomes exceedingly difficult.
Asokwa abatu ni mposiano dombrasha begomni oyimnyafo Patricia Apiejei iromu edomkuman wanafe mombrasha begoma ono ena oye minority chief whip ninze na ti ne dada wombrasha begom no de mensem nyina atugwa
yeto akase yebano eso a se wokan asantefo ngoma etire nkono enyimo no a wosesa asorokwa de ne tire ho dwene kwaji di bere wa himfi a achenchena nso de ne hu dede ebeje achiampoma akura akristofo anyemeso amen ne nyina no ene se 2024 yeba beto aba no asamba ko na etua NDC fo ano sese bi wofiamo eye 24-hour economy ene tabre no mampani John Dramani Mahama wojina baabi na wo bom se na wuta wo ka kire Ghana fo nyina se biebru se bienyado se wo nsem wa anwe a empani se wutimechi adwene eno nti no eye ne policy ba ko a wode eba eno nti no so wonya wini a 24-hour economy no adwuma beba ene adwuma ba ko workers ni bebre na yeto aba ne wie ya abusum nsia nie 24-hour economy no yenyante ho asem no ene multi-sectorial engagement na kire se womo a eye nnwuma hodo no womo nyina behia mampani e wo Jubilee House e won kran na wobra mampani wo hwirigina simpie ni apaso a wo hotira kasemo no ana wo kire mu ese se wo ba akwa adwaye na se wo mpie ya na wo ye ne ba bi yie na ne nyina no ene se 24-hour economy no na ehu behia se kwan ya mpanimfo afaso atworo no ye draft no afei ana final one no wo mo de aba wo mahwemu ahunu se ampa se de bibia de dana kwan mu eno ntiri hwiebe eye July bosumi ayeba besimu yin no ana 24-hour no ebekọ na kwakwa na adwuma 24-hour economy no na mmom wo kiremu SM wo be yusu eye voter lake no eye voter sutade no eno ana kire se ye de be ye dwuma pa ne niam ahodo a ye de be firi akonkofo amaso de ye de be firi nkofo amaso abaga na ha no ene voter lake no eso be ye busy firi se 24-hour economy no e de adwuma eba mampani John Dramani Mahama ene e wo Jubilee House
program. As a destination, the 24-hour economy policy reflects a state where Ghana's productivity and capital utilization will become so high that we'll have to operate in multiple shifts across day and night, maximizing the return on infrastructure, on human resources and innovation. This idea captured the public imagination during the 2024 campaign and remains at the core of our drive towards full employment and inclusive economic growth. As a program, the 24-hour economy demands a deep and deliberate restructuring of our productive economy. We must re-engineer our production systems from top to bottom, boosting volumes and diversity and shifting from reliance on raw materials towards the export of value-added products, wholesome foods, pharmaceuticals, garments, industrial inputs, and digital services. Earlier this month, I received the complete draft of the 24-hour economic policy from my advisor, Mr. Buzitano. I have reviewed it, and I'm confident we now have a coherent and actionable framework with which to deliver the results. An effective catalyst for the 24-hour economy policy is a stable macroeconomic environment, which we are achieving through close coordination between the monetary and fiscal authorities.
Na enuachi anagana mampene John Dramani Mahamadi atuja na wochire mu ese 24-hour economy no akwa se donkomi se adoma enaso ane boy ya ne ntire mu nyina no ene se ebe kakra na nche bia no obebie mu e de ato monten so eye public notice na obi aba behwe bi na obi anso akire na adwen hwie benyame adomo a ebenada.
The 24-hour economy program is not a top-down model. It is decentralized. Each district will establish its own 24-hour implementation task force, housed within the district and municipal assemblies, and aligned with our local economic development policy. This decentralized approach will allow each region to define and lead its path of industrial transformation based on its natural comparative advantages. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no longer just a vision, it is a structured, sequenced, and inclusive plan, and its implementation is beginning. I've authorized the 24-hour Secretariat to begin detailed program design and investment packaging. The draft program document will be released publicly on Tuesday for broader consultation.
Asam eche utire mu ampane si apro eno ntino mampane John Dramani Mahama na echire mu se 24-hour economy no eye policy document no wombe yi ato abonten ebenada nti wokọ ntentakese so a wobenya bia kenkan na wahunu se de adwumade ne besi akro
Yamfa kasebo no kopam won finfini mantem na yereko asen central crossing mu na yerekopam wo hɔ a timemfo a wowo asen urakase na workase na worfra abanda abanbɔ modena no mbrema na oya mentem wase bia wabada oya kokofu wo wonentem wo oya enkoko ase wo ase not crossing mu no abanbɔ modena omwo hwan Wachema enyina botogwa wabra ahensam momentum waso bi abada nana Dr. Dan Kwame woto de bien afi nana Professor Okogyeaman tie Okogyeaman we eyinyo Okogyeabour ejini papanyi elkaje bona da kede wala ekati dana Okogyeaman Dan Kwa amiyo kokroko oto de bien na wale chemede ahemfo bien wako owo egobi a wato eyi samena mejihin na wale chemede Dem akofa basabase bi aboto honin temma oye koko efu bi a aban abaja baye emfi eduananni a owode aban otuasika butin bi odema ikuruwa aban kaje hona asase potokos ngofan compensation na no na wori chem de oye asen wurakase atenankondwa na aban baje asasa oye 450 acres a parcel of land na chesa asase su ye pa na aban baje na wodisi oye Cocoa Researching Institute of Ghana CRIG ya onu owo mpotem ho no na in the day once and twelve nchiremo no na Dr. Dankwa Amiyo oto de biere chiremete sika wode aban otua na odi compensate no ode okọ oye urakasi community no oye hon de na mmom no nyankrankru biara a ofi bebi ntina aban hwe no onye koko board nkasa no nkotua sika bi amankrankru bi na mmom no onfa ma urakasi community no ntedam na aban anyandam a obotu won hofo
the tense koko board of woman ne bafoka ya oman ena omo de neka omo ne me se am tia se am ne mo ka se omo ne meka omo de urakasi man ena omo de omo ka nti sika na ya oman dia enya ankrankru bi dia nti min tia se koko board atena ho na says Canada so how to me any a honey to Chumaso Kakra. Until Mapa had a dream Musuma, or Man Pennyati, Chief of Staff, Interior Minister, DNI, and National Security for Union Swat to say, Omumra. Na omeshe de ekoso anya saa ye tehwa na ha no so abeda ni war zone ye mpene saa de tie ne se omani peja police for ha no kwa ahwe omuntumi nso ano ye srempani for omuntu anama ansa na aye too late tell be akoko no ensay because omu interest nyan say omu te maintenance enya adwuma yes ye mpese omu betre because e rakasi nyina japade enti omani so esi gyina say that ye so ye betu anama akofo mu ho ne koduro fo mu ha ho na de oyende no beba.
And she won't let me move be our war as soon as Rakasi. Wale Chemede, Abanimo Martin Umbreman, what is some monobo. Nana, Professor Okogyeabour Okran, Kwame Yokoko to de bien there. A bra Abafa Kunye, ya offer so you cook about Lizin Como for the Miskin in Ahono, Cocoa plantation or Hona, where ye may fool in or one in Edi, or the Nebushan folk, and or the Langa da Kawa, the Mabri way Juma, I won't put them ho.
Any person catch up, I say, I buy a my coin, one maybe 2 months free what they are. Said the crow racken, how to me, Rackasibet Danny. Did you better than this approach form and tell me in the year? Or met me a man who came on what he called Bobra. As he said, Rackasija Padi, or Brian Rackasi for a so there, and no one was a plantation, he didn't or no Okogyeabour dinner. I didn't see I only Japadia, and I manager Padia.
Plantation of my contract 32 years. And 17th February, you will be Kiako Easter. Your honor, Papa Biba saw ye or here now over Pamuya fee. He says, maybe your contract, no, much him. They say, Metivie.
Yenim no krana yenim so won na mukro mu ha yakonya no enye MPP ni NDC party say dey fremo dey no we ba na ntokwa ba we ba na ntokwa ba na ende ye hia wo kro mu ha
so no atumi ahwehwem anya papers bi ana fa through court process anya papers bi a and na me invite special prosecutor BNI ene yokufo so momrem because fraud bi e wo ho
Asenu Rakasi to me for one worker say ya Croyoshe Asen Central Cosinumo won finfiniman tem and I waje one other sazel to Omampenin Nenimi.
Yet KaseƐ no so akwaso agenemu e won finfiniman temu a na ye ko ewutu na nanomo atrankonya na ye kasa yi wo mode na watwe miensa tabo ana ato dede eyo eso ni nyina no ene se 2025 ewutu awubia festival no womo eba bedi enu nti womo srade hye se efiti sabere yakopem ne na otwemi yesa kire no entwenebo dedeyo womo de tabo atoso na sansem we nyina etodwa aya na mpanisi akokọ bedie woni made kye na nso wotie di free wonini annom yamane boni nana ansa ene kwamfopani a wowo ewutu nananom atrankonya eye ocho odai tutu wono na wo kire mu ese sa na watwe miensa dedeyo a womode tabo atoso no obi a hwese wobedi so se ne be ya monkonkodi nsenseme e wona nanom ensem
mo ablehoja endedu ani eshipe na oke suro ani ado awundo pepepe ifabie fun fanti adito ho onunkoma adwo awutu odeda ndo eto ebibi onunkoma ba afan oputi ntalebe mememfam afim anya na to no so nko fa wire udukuru ko fo abenka awutu mante no wanya wire alebem ani nkata ebubu wo maba awutu ablowo ebubu ani maba ejo ani maba ani bonyama pi te awutu mememfa anchu abiata asemu ani maba ani no okra male pipepe afa asafofo ani asumidi be ani ma he no so nko fa isa ayo site abanku foundation ekebe ayito modu ohunbo so nko egbo asumi madan shimu madan hwa mogbo ke foundation ma no echamla ayito modu amayo no to okuani diowe umayo no to yashi ebete aneba chuki awudunto ende okenka aneduanwu mo okiano okani ado mo okiano aneduanwu aneduanwu ekisa itato awon ekisa ale ekisa asafofo ela klese na mo hewe ale nyama funfa endie mumunto anita
eni ayeti yi eye konfopani a wono wowo ewutu nananomo atrankonya ne din ede ocho odai tutu ana wode sansem wei ato edwano
Yenkwa humane du na yenye Reverend Israel Olaoye injin komo na Reverend ya administrator azima Archbishop Richard Adai Theological Institute kaneno na wafano oye Shiloh Bible Training College yenye ne bezi komo yenye na ya yesre yenwe de Yama modena na yankwa asor na yanko penyankopon na nyim enyimnyam na afi daati ye nyankwanje papa enti no yanyi reverend bedinkumo ye bebisa ne de ye kada asora na de rokwa asora asor the church angasa what at all is a church. Reverend Akwaba nyame asomdwe nkan wa
nkan so when it for you na
ayo Reverend I maybe so poto kasem ewi afafanti twi feyima no. Reverend, what at all is church?
You the big can chia and penny for me papa no. His eminence the Archbishop are there. Any Archbishop Divine Ajiman Bedu. Archbishop are there Theological Institute in Pennyphone School for you now. The will be already shower. You the church. Many are just no sit down the church because you were a church and you were the church. Because the case asafuno. The case asafuna. Asafuno one na uyamia free one. One na mitoba Yesu Kristo so afre one. Na Yesu eti ni moja. Ato one ama ejo Yankopon. Okay, Revelations chapter 4. O say odini moja na toyen ama ejo Yankopon say mbeye ayenfu enya so. Nti one na Kristo moja aton a oma be Yankopon dia na medoba Yesu Kristo so no. Wo na ya asapo. Na ya na mprimpi amanfo ni say asore ana asapo no edanya isiwa yekoso dabi empo nkofo bebre wa asapo ni wa asore mo mo konsore denominations ahoda ewo na omuso nanso na Kristo asapo na nkasa no mo nkan efese kwa asore die nanso Kristo moja no o ma ne ho kwan emma Kristo moja no ho kro ne ho entry ne boni on pa ne wachi emfa ne ho ma Kristo nti asafo no ana asore no the church no eye wona Kristo moja ye den aton emma jona nko na maminka wen kan say your denominations be brave asore ko be brave na adia ebemu wo se ekowe asore anase ekowe eku a wo mama Kristo moja aye wo ho adwuma ejina nyema numbe so eko biara ejidi se Yesu Kristo na wo mu no e can virgin birth of Christ asore a ejisa de ni any asore a ejidi se Yesu Kristo be wuji ni pankwan any asore a ejidi se Yesu Kristo Yankopon ese ni pa prekope any asore a ejidi trust me too any asore a ejidi se Yesu Kristo ba ni patibia ebewuye na osore na obese ababio sa nyema nu ya mabobo so ene ma asore di asafo na wasi ehene so pa emu bia enimu anase se wo a uwum anami na friend ko ebese enya asafo enya asore wo a uwum nji sa sema mekai mu bia ni a enya asore enya Kristo asore the virgin birth of Christ, the substitutionary death of Christ, the deity and humanity of Christ, the inspiration of the scriptures, Bible, no? And the bodily resurrection and the second coming of Christ. Reverend,
what the room? Damn, Robert, ya my pinning confidence, Masawara Munchawano. Obaba na den ina obi baja tum do obokwa kwura asafa wojina Christ na fa pemedo woje sine wewrum na da menya manum ya aboboi onka jintum
kwani do hono mu asanye man nyama maboboi mu mintum mu nji ebinu muntum obo ono mo jinu emu bitu ebiso ono mo nji bintum edifre mu pe sa konu enya sori bio. It has become a different cult, an sect, an organization of people. So I have to Nti hunya se asafo wo mu no behwe se nkyerɛkyerɛ ne koso wo mu no ɛne nsɛm a muti no ɛgye saa nneɛma wo nyinaa twin ɛno ne yɛ happy my kyerɛ sɛ saa sɔre no ɛyɛ Kristo dia ɛwade nhyɛ
Reverend Erajin Shewa so den nyumrɛdze wunyimdi ɛdza boyen no ma yenya ɔyɛ gidi no mu tum bia ɔbɔbɔ hen na hena no montu ayɛkoyɛ no mi yɛtuniye ba papa yɛ da asepa Reverend anti Reverend Israel Ula Oye Administrator Zima Bishop Richard Adair Theological Institute Canon of Front Oye Shiloh Bible Training College nti ena yeti
yento akase yebono so na yemu ni timu mfompa mfiri wa my Ghana na yenkonko piem ewo nkofo aman eso na yekọ France man no emu se wokọ wo mo abakosem mu a ebere bi atwa mu na ebeto odwase emema mako aduonum baako 51 wono makoto ede ahye maame bia ne din ede Gesele Pelicot so ato ne mona ewo France anafo FM ama ensem ne kopie mu ewo court no emmema mako aduonum baako no yejeli wo mu nyina weni e kan se gang rape o makọ marathon o makọ bọ maame ne gala ehu o ni enim se bi nsi bio foforo asasi na wurade ayehu we de France bataza 300 o kai se abranti andede mbasogo Nguema bataza eye Equatorial Guinea bosa kai
oh mekane pa
mo wache mama akomako 400 ema ehu video so da so kra hwe bi wo phone so ni ade a munum ne mic no wa mo defense bia yeah chrome head o
ade na be yemie
ade na be yewo ade pa na true be yen ye be ko friend ya ko yi
atwe na ebo ho amane mbo
we
kai
ebusua da aba nyina no ene se doctor bia
try your thing
doctor bia ne din ede Joel Lee Sonic was 74 years was surgeon not just wo bia was surgery yakasai Britannic courts no e France man no mu ajeli papa se won kwadam emfinhia makomako aduo na boni a wadie ene se ema no a eyare na wo mo beye surgery no eba hono mo a na waka wo mato no ababa wo mo na mu sei se won triangle
afrokutu
say ya camera no na the camera na mu dia na mo mfa so a TV so a live show na wa ya man say e mama akomako 300 doctor yi ato wo mo na kwa na emona na woto ye no emu makomako 256 eye ema wo mo fie no eye edunum awurade ye wo pedi wema na eno na court no transie no ye busebusa papa yi ne din ede eye Joel Lee Sonic ye busa nse papa boni ayesi wadie nie eyampa wo hwe court wanim na ni bo prepresa China ni awa chewingam wasafe hari ese kwa na kwada bu finshi aduo no enti yakasa yi French surgeon wa repu mama akomako 300
yamane say 300 ne man say just 20 years
20 years obia yisisimudes
300
enenye
efa ne yemu no diwema
ebefa ne yem sankwara no doso
ma yemfa rewo sami ntiado fansor kasebwedu amanonim na Israel manu yereka say nyimpa beye du ewo Gaza mpopo no do wetu oye anemoni bi eti hono ma edu nyimpa du watwe nananom wonsedu ye pa na arewo sami de dama anomontu nyina wesi nafo abieni a ina odi yenne echiri mu ni nyina nyimpa du wo ye Gaza manimu a onam Israel manu hona na montu na gina ya wesi de wo ma ho kwan na indiban na nsu emfa hone hyedu nwura Gaza no ntino wore bra wo kom yie papa pantino wore bo modena wa akobabi na wa akopemmoa ono na Israel manu mu asodafo wo hu ne dama wo san oye itu woju gu oye Palestinian oye ne mu meya kom de hone ntino wore ko oye atena bia oye US amano ena wesi wo oye Gaza manimu a what's a boa one kun kromona wakwa hunyemunti what a bohono what called the World Cup page bana Israel man so was so itrum what you go oya the match na him ayelka say nyimpa du watwe na nanom war insiadom na Israel man Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu na Oluchem de one anomonto a wotui no nyimpa du a wo win we hu ne de Hamas oya etuatofo na wotui say Israel fo manti no de mabri Israel fo so wo nje no ko no oya ata hona no montu wetum weku oya Hamas woni kanzifo me che wo leader Mohammed Sinho ya za wekun na wal kasa de mabri de man montu be no Palestine ni oya iku Hamas no wọ́n maka no ho asembia na wori chema dem be nyimpa eduane ba 43 ena wetum wekuan in the day ya ni nyina ye Israel anomonto a wetu in the day wode tia oya Gaza ya wori chem de nimu awotwa wekuan no ye oya insentrofo wode abotugwa na wori chema dem dem Israel ekui wanye Gaza wode asiye papa nyimpa dodo na wewa ekun no afi ebianu kone ba sende no wonja ya woguda worokodo na ayatimo okay enti dem no worokodo we Israel no potem oko osi commentary o
ebusia ya so na yakọ ansa na yebeji bum ni agifum ni afekire ha no mamenko ahojo daban California Junction na menchia Prophet Shadrach Edu True Faith Church papa se bibia bokode nyame wonhira wo mo ahoden pa maye chia woni mama ne abusua ne nyina na enwumere taxi driver bi aye nyame so adwuma ne din edefrempon wo ye taxi driver wo ye adwuma free Santase roundabout eba edum ahyenkanfo no a omode wo madwene ebokro no wono de woman sika na bro so sebra ya tosuo nteje wonsesa eno ntene friend frempon akura bibia bokode nyame nhira pa ye bompa ye said ye waye ahyenkafo na ka no so nya ne saa na Ghana enkoyie eno ntene taxi driver car no Chevrolet Matis AS 37 23-21 ni din de frempon akura nyame nhira pa ye bo abaso KaseƐ na si yemfa seda ema KaseƐ semofo owura Emmanuel Odro Korea wona se mama ye Jimmy Cliff any newsroom mrantie ne maba wa wo mo ayadwuma pa ya da wo mo ase na Crystal Ben so tena mfidi na chi piapia ma yen asomfo mienu edi ameje so eye gangster cat ya mitenkura wo Okogyeabour Okran me ne
uncle epo baini afi several room for NMC for so bon wadi ye chewu